Okay, just in time for the garbage truck outside, and now I have volume. I'm going to start on Twitch as well, in my little live stream here. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Torin from TorinAtkinson.com. I am a former and sometimes current illustrator for fantasy game books like Dungeons & Dragons, and including Dungeons & Dragons. And I am here today to talk about the newly released artwork, cover art for the Monster Manual, and comparing it and contrasting it, doing a little analysis with the previous incarnations. So let's get started. First edition right here. We have from David Sutherland, and it's very what I would call like a children's book illustration. It's very flat. It's very kind of illustrative. You can judge this book by its cover, because inside you're going to find a lot of monsters that look like these, and the very sorry about that. I'm having trouble with my stylus today, and also my brain. The characters, the monsters, like I said, they're very flat. There's a lot of them that are like very profile-y, so it's not what I would call a dynamic character. Hey, welcome Cthulhu Inc. to the chat. Can you hear the music? Since you're here and commenting on the audio. This guy's straight on, the Roper here. So it's not what I would call a dynamic cover, but it's illustrative. It shows you what's going to be inside. There's kind of the rule of thirds going on here. I think it's kind of neat. It's evocative a little bit, like it gives you a sense of, ooh, what is this game about? So it's classic. I like it. It's not my favorite. This is like one of the few covers in this series where I don't go back to the original as one of my favorites. So let's close that and let us go to Monster Manual number 2, second edition. Again, this is very illustrative. The composition is 5 monsters in a group in the middle of the book. There's no background, as you can see, which really, it really showcases the monsters. It's not distracting in any way, which is good. I personally also cannot hear the music, just the tinnitus. Let me see if I can turn the music up a little bit and see if that makes a difference. I got some flack for it being too loud in one of my previous videos. I turned it up. Can you hear it now? Anyway, moving on. This is Jeff Easley. It's great. I don't like drawing backgrounds either, so I understand why. It's a book about monsters, and it shows you the monsters, so that's pretty good. The composition is just kind of like a triangle, which is fine, and then all this empty dead space where you put the logo. Let's move on to Monster Manual 3rd edition. And as we know, the 3rd edition, they didn't do artwork, 2D artwork in the way that has been traditionally shown in the other editions. They sculpted these books in real life and then took photos or scanned the books and printed them on the covers of the books, which I love. I thought that was super cool. It's like it's putting you, the player, into the world, because now you have these books, like the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Player's Handbook were very much like, ooh, these are magical spell tomes that I would carry. And so for this particular book, the Monster Manual, it's clearly made out of like red dragon scales, so that informs you that this is a book about monsters, in case you don't read the title. And I think it's great. It's got this framing of all the booky gewgaws, the spine and the little clasp that closes it. So I love that. Let's see if I can close this window. Close it. No, I don't want to save. And then we move to 4th edition. This is Wayne Reynolds artwork. It's I wouldn't call it dynamic, but I would say the figure has a lot of energy in it. Like there's not much going on in. It's just this monster that's heading for you and gonna hit you with its spine club. This is Orcus, the Prince of Demons, and there's a little bit of business going on in the background, but not not really much is happening. But it's got a lot of weight. It's got a lot of energy. I love the way Wayne does his contrast. Like these blacks here are super black. And then you have like the white highlights around the edges. And the clarity is there. So that's great. And I said before, I hate the way 4th edition put these big banners that cover up the beautiful artwork. But we can take a look here at what Wayne actually did. You got some cool atmospheric textures going on, and then it's framed by these pillars, and then you got the ground frame here. So yeah, it's coolly framed, and it's a cool monster, and I like it. Let's move on. This is the back cover. We don't care about that. Let's go now to 5th edition. Here is the 5th edition cover by Raymond Swanland. Is this my favorite Monster Manual cover? It might be. And I'll tell you why. You got your main monster in the middle, your focal point, like this big eye, obviously. And like we like to do, we artists do, we compose it so the shapes are moving your eye around and around the composition, so you don't your eye is not taken away. You're engaged with this person's arm and the weapons and this pillar of light coming around. I think it's great. One of the things that another kind of tenet of illustration is if you've chosen your focal point and you have other characters in the composition, have those characters look at, like this dwarf here is looking at the focal point. This one is not, but it's also cool. And some of the other books and some of the other players' handbooks as well, I think. You've got some characters on that are like completely facing away from the viewer, from the camera, from the audience, which is something that he has not done here, which is good. So you can see like they're opening up to the camera, even though they're reacting to the monster. So that's a little tip if you want to do some illustration. And let's take a look. One of the other things I will say about 5th edition art direction, which is great, they don't do what they did in 4th edition and put this giant banner covering up the artwork. They have here's the monster manual. It's reasonably sized. You can see most of the artwork behind it. There's the name of the book, Dungeons & Dragons, small, off to the side. That's great. We like that. And then let's take a look at the full art. Oh my goodness. It's even better. One of the complaints I would have with this cover is that you only see one monster, not including the bats. But if you look at the back, hey, look, here's a Grick. Any of the monsters I'm not seeing? No. So that's cool. This is a nice, it's nice. It's evocative. There's a story happening here. There's action and adventure and danger. This is, literally injecting the cover with energy. I'm not sure what this looks like. A statue, and his head is shooting out electricity for some reason. But it's good that this artwork is making me ask questions, as long as it's not WTF is going on. Cthulhu Inc. says the 5th edition, they were big in the 60s. Oh no, that's the 5th dimension. And then the reason why we came here today, here is the newly released art just today, revealed on IGN, and annoyingly, they did not credit the artist in this big article. The whole article is about the new art for the Monster Manual. They didn't say who did it. So good job, IGN. But it's Tyler Jacobson, and we can say, obviously, another Beholder. For some reason, this Beholder is super huge. I think a normal Beholder is maybe half the size. I think they've been getting bigger and bigger with each edition. But, it's fantasy. They can do whatever they want. This is... they didn't give a particularly high-resolution image. But this is Boo from... this is... what was the name? The hamster. There's the hamster right in the middle. That's Boo. And then this is the characters from the Baldur's Gate video. I'm drawing a blank on the name. Post it in the comments. I know that you know. And then this is another character who I'm not familiar with, but apparently it's a named character. And what we do have on this cover, which I do like, is we do have a whole selection of monsters. We got, this looks like a gray render. This is obviously a Displacer Beast. We got a Mimic. These look like, I don't know, goblins or orcs or something. We got a flaming skull here. And then, of course, our friend the Beholder. Compositionally, I like it. I like how all these things are kind of like facing the center. It's kind of weird that, what's his name? Good old what's his name is like focusing directly away from the action. Like he's not even part of what's going on here. So that would be my only critique, really, about this this particular piece by Tyler Jacobson. And then we have the back cover, which I love. Again, tons of monsters. I mean, I could name them all if you want, but why bother? What is this? The Nickthok? No, I can't remember what that is. Anyway, it reminds me, I'll tell you what it reminds me of. I think I have this ready to show you. It reminds me of, here we go, the 1987 Justice League cover, Justice League Unlimited. No, it was just called Justice League then. Of just all the monsters kind of looking up at you. It's dangerous. It's creepy. It's cool. I like it. So that's pretty much all of the monster manuals that I could find. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Again, if I did, feel free to put it in the comments and like and subscribe. And by gosh, thanks for joining me, D-Ron. Wasn't that Critiker in the BTILC with Kirk Russell? I have no idea what you're talking about. Big Trouble in Little China? Oh, you're talking about the Beholder. Yeah, in Big Trouble in Little China, they had that floating eye thing. It wasn't quite a Beholder, or maybe it was. And then the Beholder was also in an episode of Futurama. So D&D and pop culture, it's a thing. Monica says, hi, hello, I'm just finishing. I have to go to work now. It's my lunch hour is almost over. But thanks for joining me. Don't forget to do the liking and doing the subscribing, and join me next time. I don't, for whatever, when my computer gets fixed, when my Cintiq styles get fixed, I'll be doing some more live stream drawing, and you can see what I would do if I had to draw something, as I often do. So, and goodbye. Have a great one.